It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream Q&A video. This is going to be Q&A number 184. We're going to be talking about season 10 episode 6 that aired last week and episode 7 which is going to be airing tonight called Open Your Eyes. So I'm going to jump right into the questions, but before I do so, for anyone that's new or if you don't remember or anything like that, this is a no spoiler community, so please do not post any spoilers about the upcoming episode in the chat. I would really appreciate it. Of course, if you've been on the channel before, you know the rules, but if you're new, please don't put any spoilers. I know some people have already watched the episode, but please do not post spoilers on the chat or anywhere on the channel for that matter, but specifically talking about the chat right now or the stream, do not post any spoilers on the chat. But let's jump right into the questions. Voltix33 says, hi Ash, hi, how are you? Glad you could join. Oh, one other thing, as always, if there's any issues with the audio, the camera or anything, let me know. Mario 3, hey, would you be doing, or hey, what are you doing? How are you guys? I'm great. Glad you could join, Mario. Anna Twink, hi, how are you, Anna? Glad you could join. When does this live stream start, guys? It started like 10 seconds ago, I think. So you didn't miss much. Mario 3, without spoiling for anyone who hasn't watched episode 7, I lost my mind, that's all. I think it was hardest episode to watch since 9:15. I'll be the judge of that. I haven't seen it. Mario 3, I got pre-Negan vibes. I don't even know if this episode is going to have Negan in it. It might, but we haven't seen any pictures of Negan for this upcoming episode, and he wasn't in the trailer or anything. Voltex33, yeah, Mario, agree, absolutely surprising and creepy. Mario 3, Ash, please do no spoilers in title. Is there any spoilers in the title? There is no spoilers. But yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I won't do any or put any spoilers in titles. I'll try, because I do understand now that some people don't get to watch it till later, so I'll definitely keep that in mind. Anna Twink, do you have any voting this week? Yes, we will have voting on Twitter. As always, we're going to have the what did you think of the episode vote or poll that you can vote on, and also I might have another one depending on what we see in this episode. Or maybe more, who knows. I don't want to go crazy with it, but we might have a few polls going tonight. Anna Twink, my prediction for the mid-season, any predictions for the mid-season finale? It all depends what we see tonight. Because I think, depending on what they do, that's going to shape up the mid-season finale. So I'll definitely spend time on my predictions video because it is a mid-season finale, and maybe do a longer version prediction video, but it all depends what we see tonight. Mario 3, because if you do no spoilers in the title, people won't join and spoil it. Oh, like put no spoiler tag in the title? That's a very good comment. I think that's what you mean. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to do that right now, actually, for this stream as well. Let me change it. No spoiler Q&A. There we go. It should be updated now, and hopefully that'll help people understand that this is a no spoiler chat. Mario 3, I'm up for the chat moderation if I can. We have a few already, but I'll add you as well. I don't think we'll need any more, but there we go. So I added Mario 3 as a moderator, because in the earlier ones, the other moderators don't necessarily or don't have time to join, I don't think, because they usually join at the very end. So it would be nice to get someone moderating who can actually join this early stream. Mario 3, thanks, no worries. And just a general rule, there's no rule for moderating, but the general rule that if it's a spoiler, definitely block it. If it's someone just being racist or saying stupid crap about other people specifically, definitely block that and I'll review it. But if it's someone who's just being an ass towards me, don't worry about that. I'll deal with that myself. With the moderators, the biggest thing is the spoilers and also the if someone's just cussing everyone out. The spoiler one specifically, it's more of a problem now because of AMC Premiere. People just show up and just spoil everything. And also for that, if you haven't seen the episode either, that doesn't really help because I don't want you spoiling it for yourself just to moderate here. So if you haven't seen the episode already, and if you're a moderator, don't worry about reading the chat to try to remove the spoilers. Because the other moderators, I think they do get to watch it early, so that's what they're good for in that sense. Mario 3, I moderated over 30 channels in the past. Gotcha. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the extra hand. Voltex 33, what will happen to Negan after Whisperer's story arc ends? They could obviously or always go back to the comic material and follow his comic arc in the TV show. I don't think that works. Not that it doesn't work. It's just that as big of a character Negan is, and as important of a character I would say at this point as he is, it doesn't make sense to give him the same story arc. In the comics, it was a little different because they knew the comics was ending anyway, so that's why Negan's comic ending kind of fit. But in the show, I don't think it makes sense to do the same thing. I hope they remix it a lot, actually. I hope they give him a similar type of story, but different at the same time. Anna Twink at Mario111. I agree. Plus, I would tend to suggest to Ash to put that no spoilers in all his vids as a byline because there are so many spoiled videos at the moment. Yeah, absolutely. The other videos, the thing is, I want to put no spoilers in every title of the video, but you have like a specific limit on how many characters you can put in the title. That's why I don't waste like extra characters just to put no spoilers. But in the streams, in the Q&A streams, I definitely do try to do that from now on. I think someone brought it up a while back and I tried it, but I forgot, so I'll bring it back. Mario 3, Maggie will return at the end of the Whisper arc and she'll probably send him away. That's a good prediction, but again, I don't know if I necessarily want to see Negan going away. If he does, I hope that he does, or he gets his own spin-off or something. But even that's a little bad because, or not bad, but it hurts the show because then he's not on the show. So I hope they balance it out between a story that makes sense and one that doesn't hurt the show. Anna Twink, lots of people are talking about who will get Andrea's comic death. What does anyone else think? Right now, I have two people. One is Connie, and one is Rosita. Rosita I talked about on my other video. If Rosita doesn't get that death tonight, then I don't think she'll get Andrea's death. It's just that the way the trailer looked for tonight's episode, it looked like they were giving Rosita Andrea's death. But those two, Connie specifically because of the Daryl connection, I feel like that might fit. Maybe they could do that with Carol and Ezekiel. It's just that whoever they do it with, they have to be a couple. And right now, we don't have too many of those. You know what I mean? Voltex 33, will Michonne exit this year or in 10B? I think 10A. I think in the mid-season finale. And why do I say that? I say that because we got the Michonne Lucille scene in the trailer, and I think that scene is very connected to how Michonne leaves, or part of the story where she leaves. So that's that. And also, they only put things that they have already shot in the trailer, obviously, and it's usually things in the first half. So all of that together, I think 10A. If it's 10B, I think it's very early on in 10B. And the other thing is they could be filming out of order. That's the other thing to keep in mind. Mario 3, I hope they won't send him to Fear the Walking Dead with Dwight and Morgan after that. That would be suicide for the show, honestly. I think that's the worst idea ever. Worst decision ever if they do that. And I really hope they don't do that. Mario 3, Voltex's early word is 10-12. Yeah. If, like you say, early word, I hope it's not a spoiler or anything, but yeah, early word, I heard that too, that it's early on in the second half or later on in the second half. Something like that. Mario 3, 10B for sure. Anna Twink, I agree, it'll be Rosita. She will save Eugene, finally proving she cares for him. That's a good point. So even if she doesn't die tonight, she could still get it later on. Connecting that story to Eugene somehow. So yeah, that's a good prediction there. Anna Twink, I don't think they'll send Negan away because they'll have lost too many major characters. Yeah, absolutely. And I've said before, with Michonne leaving, with Andrew Lincoln or Rick gone, with Carl gone, I think at this point, it's a bad decision to take Negan away from the story. I hope they don't do that. Mario 3, have you seen pictures from TWD3 stuff I posted on Reddit? CRM has full name. Is it the new things or is it the old stuff when the trailer dropped? If it's new, I haven't seen it. But if it's based on the trailer or around, if they released it around the same time they released the trailer, I've already seen it. But CRM has a full name? I haven't heard that. So that might be something I'm missing. I'll go check it out later. Mario 3, you should check it out. Good for a new video. I absolutely will. And if you have like a link or something, let me know or put it on so I can check it out. But I'll definitely do my own kind of Googling as well to see. The other thing I do want to mention, I know it's a little early for it, but remember during our off season of The Walking Dead, we have a different schedule. So definitely check out the schedule that we have that's at the start and end of every video. So you can see what our schedule is going to look like in, I think, 2 weeks. Yeah, not this week. Yeah, starting next week. When The Walking Dead is not on, so definitely check it out if you haven't, because we have a little bit of a different schedule. And also, the other thing is that during the off season, I'll be continuing my gameplay of Telltale's The Walking Dead. So we'll have that as well. I haven't put it on the schedule because I don't know exactly when I'm going to get to play, but I'll try to at least 3 or 4 sessions, or 3 sessions a week, hopefully. So definitely that'll be coming up on the channel as well after The Walking Dead ends for this half season. So Mario 3 has put on the link. I'll open it and then... Did it open? There we go. Yeah, so I'll definitely check it out. I opened it, the link, so I don't forget. So I'll be checking that out. Thank you, Mario3, for posting that. Something is weird with my camera here. That's better. It was a little slow. Anna Twink, will Ezekiel be saved by CRM? I think at this point that's a very good prediction. They have build up something that points towards that, for sure. Braden Hall, do you think Alpha will die in the mid-season finale? I think either the mid-season finale or the mid-season premiere. I don't think they'll push it to like episode 10 or 11. If they do episode 10, it'll be early on in episode 10 again. But I think at the latest, episode 10, for sure. But I'm leaning more towards either the mid-season finale or the mid-season premiere. Mario 3, it has like 250 upvotes. Crazy, lol. Yeah, that is crazy for Reddit. I know there's probably crazier upvotes, but yeah, that's definitely cool. I'll check it out. Noah Jake 75, hey Ash, excited for tonight's episode? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. And I hope it doesn't let us down, because there's been a lot of hype about this episode. Noah Jake 75, it seems like we'll be seeing what's going on with Siddiq, and according to the synopsis, Alpha and Beta will be learning more about Negan. Yeah, in tonight's episode, yeah. The thing is, I don't even know if Negan's gonna be in this episode. But, you know, he might be. But he's not in the trailer, he's not in the pictures, so that's a little weird. But maybe it's just a conversation between Alpha and Beta. Maybe Negan doesn't show up necessarily. Voltex33, do you agree with people saying that Negan and Daryl keep the show alive? I would say there's 4 characters right now that keep the show alive. Carol, Michonne, Daryl, and Negan. Those 4. But I don't think it's necessarily one over the other. All of them share, I think, share that, what do you call it? That title of people who are saving the show or keeping the show alive. Noah Jinx 75, I don't know how Rosita would be cured from the walker blood infested water, because usually there's almost no cure for water bites or walker blood getting into a person's system. Yeah, that's a very good point. But the other thing is that, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if she's going to die or not. If she doesn't die, then she might die later on because of it. Who knows? But that's a very good point. You make a very good point there. Mario 3 mid-season finale has to do something with start of the Whisper War because it needs to shoot us to second half. I've said this before. I think the Whisper War is the first half. And I don't know if it's just me, but I think we're already in the war, or like we're in war already. But the first few episodes, this did feel like a Cold War thing. And then a little bit of kind of skirmishes here and there. So if we do actually get the start of the Whisper War in the mid-season finale, then I think the Whisper War will take maybe 2 or 3 episodes. That'll take us to episode like 10 or 11. And I think around that time, or before the 3rd episode in the second half, Alpha is going to be done, and then Beta, and then that's going to be the end of the Whisper arc. So I don't think we'll actually, or the Whisper War is actually going to take the entire second half. Noah Jinx 75, maybe Alpha and Beta start having reservations about Gamma, and the reservations she had been having with Aaron, or it could obviously be Negan, but it's more likely be Negan than Gamma. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Negan. And the other thing is that in the Walking Dead Wikia, if you actually check that synopsis, when it says someone in the synopsis, there is a link to it. If you click it, it'll take you to Negan's profile page. I'm just saying. It could be Gamma for sure, but I just said Negan because of that alone, because of the link. Noah Jink 75, will the Whisperer that Carol captured die tonight? I say he will. I think so. I mean, I did cover that sneak peek that showed him pretty much dead. I could be wrong about that, but it showed him dead. So that mixed with what I've said before, that they have nothing to, or the Whisperer is not going to be useful to them because, what do you call it? Because it's he's loyal to Negan, or not Negan, sorry, loyal to Alpha. So because of that, I don't think that he'll give up information, and they might have to put him down. So I think he's gonna die, and there's definitely a clue about it in the sneak peek, like I said. Mario 3, I follow pretty close filming of The Walking Dead, so I know the scenes that will probably happen during the season. I mean, I know a lot of stuff, but I don't want to spoil people, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you not spoiling people. There's a lot of people who specifically go to these channels to spoil people, and I hate that. Noah Chick 75, I don't know if Gamma's genuinely wanting to stray from the Whisperers, or she's faking it and is all in the Whisperer's lifestyle and is tricking us into believing she wants to stray away. And I've said this before, I think it's one of two things. One, she's a spy for Alpha, or she really has she had like a, what do you call it? She changed her mind. She had an epiphany in a way, and she wants to help the survivors. I'm leaning more towards her being a spy for Alpha, because if it's the other way around, it's kind of repetitive. They've done that with Dwight. So I don't necessarily think that it makes sense for them to do that story arc again. So because of that, I think she'll probably be a spy for Alpha. Mario 3, for everyone that hasn't watched, everyone that wasn't or hasn't watched episode 7, take my advice, watch carefully. I'll say that. That's interesting. Okay, I'll definitely watch very carefully. So is there like, and I don't know if it makes sense for me to ask this because I don't want you to actually answer it, but based on what you said, I think there's probably like subtle hints about certain stuff in there. So that's pretty interesting. Anna Twink, I find Gamma's storyline really intriguing story if I missed it, but any ideas what the story will be? I think what they're doing with Gamma is playing off of her guilt, killing her sister, and also playing off the story where she didn't want to be a leader or one of the top lieutenants Alpha has, but she's in this position now. So she's gonna do the best she can. And she truly trusts Alpha. So if there's a situation where she finds that Alpha lied, I think that's gonna mess her up a lot. No, Jig 75, if that Whisper sees Lydia, then she has to die because, or then he has to die because Alpha doesn't want to her people to know that Lydia is alive. That's a good point. I think what they could do to get information out of the Whisperer is show Lydia to her. But then again, they don't know that Alpha didn't tell. Or told the Whisperers that she killed Lydia. The survivors don't know that. That's the other thing. Mario 3, because whole episode turns out in your head in the end through the episode. Because whole episode turns out in your head in the end throughout the episode. That's interesting. I don't know what you mean by that, but do you mean that they show you certain stuff that you don't understand until the end? Is that what you mean? No Jinx 75, even if Gamma does decide to help the survivors, I still say that she dies this season. It would be awesome if her sister was brought up right before she dies, because that's what has been getting her. Yeah, I don't think she's surviving for sure. But they could do a lot of things with her, or two specific things with her story, like I said. No Jinx 75, Ash, do you watch Walking Dead on Sunday or AMC Premiere on Friday? I'm in Canada. I don't get AMC Premiere, so I don't watch it on Friday. I watch it on Sunday. They should really just give people in Canada AMC Premiere as well. I mean, I would pay to get AMC Premiere so that it doesn't spoil, or I'm not spoiled. You know what I mean? But the other thing, if I do get AMC Premiere somehow, I'm going to have to change my schedule a little bit, because it doesn't make sense for me to watch the episode and then do Q&A. You know what I mean? So I might have to play or shift things around in the schedule a little bit if I do get AMC Premiere, which at this point I'm not going to, because I don't get it in Canada. Mario 3, let's say they are giving you hints every 5 minutes, and in the end you say WTF. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. No75 Q&A, what characteristics does Lydia share with her mother? Obviously they are very different, but are there any similarities between them as mother and daughter? That's a great question. I would say, what similarity do they have? That's a great question. I don't think they have too many. And it's because of the way Alpha raised Lydia. Alpha raised Lydia to be a cold-hearted person. But Lydia wasn't that type of person. So I don't think there's too many similarities between them. Not that I can think of right off top of my head. Mario 3, do you have, or you have seen Walking Dead guests or Talking Dead guests? Yeah, I know it's Chandler Riggs who played Carl, and what do you call it? Was it Annie or Avi Nash? Is that his name? That who plays Sadiq? And obviously, I think that's a bit of a spoiler in itself. Maybe Sadiq is dying. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like. But I'm gonna go in trying to ignore that. XL Flames, the end of the episode is like a cliffhanger. Not gonna say anything anymore because I think that's spoiling a little bit. Yeah, don't say anything, but even saying a cliffhanger, that's interesting. I hope it's not a bad cliffhanger. They've done terrible cliffhangers in the past. I hope it's a good cliffhanger. No, I think 75, The Walking Dead guests are Chandler Riggs and Avi Nash, which is a little suspicious on what could happen. And this is not spoiler, but pure speculation. And what got my attention the most. Yeah, I mean, in a way, if, and I'm just saying if, anything happens to Sadiq, and I don't even know if it is going to, but then Talking Dead pretty much spoiled it. Usually when it's things like this, they say, and a surprise guest. But this time they didn't, so yeah. Maybe it would have been better if they say surprising or surprise guest, but the surprise guest is Chandler Riggs. If they did that. Because then you'll be like, but it's not going to be Sadiq because it's not the surprising guest. If it is Sadiq, in fact, that's dying. But you'll be like, maybe it's Rosita, maybe they're coming together, something like that. So, you know, it's not completely kind of in your face, but this way it's kind of completely in your face in a way. Mario 3, that's like a spoiler, lol. Yeah, the Talking Dead thing for sure it feels like a little bit of a spoiler, and I was disappointed when I saw it this morning. I'm like, damn. I wish I haven't seen that. Mario 3, I feel like they are spoiling just with doing that. Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same. But again, I'm going to try to go in ignoring that. It's going to be hard, but I'll try. No Jinx 75, terrible cliffhanger in the bat. LOL, you had it right the first time with 616 being a prime example. Yeah, terrible cliffhangers is the bat. Absolutely. 616's cliffhanger was terrible. I mean, terrible. Mario 3, it's not that heavy cliffhanger, but it is. I hope it's not a cliffhanger where, like, did he die? Did he not die? I hope or did she die? Or did she not die? Or whatever. I hope that it's a cliffhanger wanting us, or left with us wanting more. Not left with us frustrated. I hope. Noah Jink 75. Are you someone who blindly loves characters no matter what they do? I've seen so many fans do that, and it's kind of irritating me because I hated Rick for. No, if someone's doing stupid crap, if a character is doing things that is it annoying me or irritating me, then I'm not gonna like them. Prime example, Magna. When she was introduced, I was a big fan. I'm like, yeah, I like this Magna in the TV show. But then now, I'm like, just kill her off. I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, you're saying Rick being such a prick in season 8. Yeah, and I would say with Rick, it's a little bit different for me. Not that I always like Rick, but I do point out when Rick is being annoying or Rick is being difficult to root for. But at the end of the day, he's my favorite. He was my favorite character when he was on the show. Right now, it's Carol at this point, and then Negan, and then Daryl. Carol, then Negan, then Michonne, and Daryl together. It's very close between them. XL Flames, it's basically like you don't know what's going to happen after the episode. That's not too bad then. Like, if it's... The only thing I would say is I hope they leave it on a note where you're like, I understand why they left it a cliffhanger. But if they ended with you saying, like, they could have just shown that part to us and then had a cliffhanger, that would be different. You know what I mean? Like with the example of this, the Negan cliffhanger. Just show us who died. You don't need to show us the entire scene. Just show us who is picked and then end it. If they showed us, for example, that it was Abraham and then they ended the scene and then came back in season 7 and then showed us everything else, I would have been like, whatever. But keeping the victim a mystery, that's what pissed me off. And that's what took away from the cliffhanger. Another example with Morgan in Fear the Walking Dead last season. If they didn't have the walkers approaching him and they had Morgan seeing something that hints that that's how he might be surviving or he might get away with it or get away from that situation, then I'll be like, whatever. But walkers approach, he is dying, and then that's it. That's kind of like a clickbait in a way. So I don't like those clickbait type of things, type of cliffhangers that are there just so that people watch next season. Just because of that. Just so people watch. That I don't think is a good strategy. Mario 3, exactly like Flames said. I'm intrigued now. Noah Jinx 75. I've seen Michonne fans blindly loving her in season 9, being so cold towards everyone, and then coming back to her senses and again blindly loving everything she does. I didn't like Stone Cold Michonne. Me neither. And if I'm not forgetting, I even called Michonne out. I'm like, why is Michonne acting like this? You know what I mean? Mario 3, Rick was my favorite character also, but the show is still watchable even without him, but I still miss him. I still miss him, don't get me wrong, but obviously because he's not there, he's not my favorite character, because he's not there. If he comes back, then he's automatically going to be, or not automatically, but it's going to be easy for him to become my favorite character once again. Noah Jake 75. 1008 will be back at Oceanside. Yeah, that was in the synopsis, right? That's very interesting. I don't know what they're doing in 1008. Honestly, I have to wait to see what they do in 1007 to even go with any type of prediction for 1008. Because I feel like this episode is a key episode. Much like 915 was a key episode. You couldn't predict what's going to happen at the end of the season or where the season was going to go unless you saw 915. Same thing, same type of thing. Mario 3, I'll tell you right now, I'm still mad over episode, but it is good episode and it makes sense to do what they did. But there is a ton of plot holes since 1001 to do what they did this episode. There is a ton of plot holes since 1001 to do what they did this episode. That's interesting. Okay. I'll definitely like comment on that after I see the episode, because right now I don't really know what you mean, but I'm sure I will know what you mean when I see the episode. Noah Jing 75. Will this war start with an attack on Oceanside? Also, according to 1008 synopsis, the fight happens at Oceanside, but how? I think that's a very good prediction. We could have a war starting at Oceanside, or kick-starting at Oceanside. Anna Twink, oh boy, Negan anti-rape thing. All these women saying he's not a hypocrite because they love the actor. What about the sanctuary rapes and his coerced wives? Well, with the sanctuary rape thing, I would disagree because Negan didn't know about it. When he found out about it, he killed rapey Davy, right? That was that. But the wife thing, I kind of agree with you on that. And that's where Negan is a little bit of a hypocrite. A little bit. Anna Twink, could be Carol goes back to sea and Beta goes after her. Oh, to the Oceanside? Yeah, that's possible. We could have everyone going to Oceanside and then Whispers following them, and that's how they know where they are. But I think at this point, Oceanside, or Whispers know about Oceanside already. Noah Jink 75, that would be interesting to see Beta go after Carol. Yeah, that would be very interesting. And imagine Negan saving Carol. That would be epic. I don't know if you guys see or seen that, but I did like a prediction for how Alpha and Beta could die a while back before the season started. At this point, I don't stand by that prediction, but it was just a fun prediction I did. I'll try to find a link to it and put it on the chat. Let me actually do that now. So if you're interested to see like a fun prediction video on that, check that out. And it's different, or it's not like the other videos I've done. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Let me see if it is this. I don't know if it's this one. Let me check before I leave a link. Yep, that's the one. It's this one. You guys can go and check it out. Again, I don't stand by that prediction now. Maybe partly, but not fully. But if you are a fan of fun prediction videos, definitely check that out. Noah Jake 75, do you think Hilltop will be burnt down like in the comics? There's a possibility, yes. They might give that to Oceanside though. But it's possible that they might stick with Hilltop. Noah Jake 75, imagine Maggie comes back and sees Hilltop burnt down. That's a very good point. That would be interesting, yes. Anna Twink, oh wow, yes, maybe the tree thing was a foreshadowing of Hilltop destruction by the Whispers. Very possible, yes. Noising 75 Q&A, how do you think Herschel will be like when he grows up? In the comics at the end, he became a spoiled brat, which is nothing like his father Glenn. Maggie didn't raise him well in the comics. No, she did not. I'm very interested to see what they do with Baby Herschel in the TV show. Obviously, Maggie coming back, Baby Herschel will come back, or it's not Baby Herschel anymore, but Herschel. So let's see what happens with that. Mario 3, the scene where Michonne is holding Lucille hasn't happened yet, but I bet that she'll see Whisperer Negan in 10:08. That's possible. That's a very possible thing to happen. I think that was a hallucination though, the Michonne bat thing, but I could be wrong. Noah Jig 75, I hope Herschel in the TV show wasn't or doesn't grow up to be a spoiled brat like his comic counterpart. It would be awesome to see him more like his father Glenn. I totally agree with you on that. In the comics though, it made sense for the story they were telling. It only worked if they made that character be a spoiled brat. It wouldn't work any other way. You know what I mean? So I understand why they had to do that in the comics, but I hope they do something different in the show. Noah Jig 75, Negan wearing a Whisperer mask, that would be so awesome to see. That would be insane to see, yes. He did say, I'm waiting for my skin suit. Remember that in the previous episode? Alright, we're 45 minutes in. We're going to end it here, but thanks everyone for joining and asking questions, and for those of you that support the channel, I truly appreciate it, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Stay tuned for my reaction to tonight's episode, and also my breakdown of the trailer for the upcoming episode, and the other videos that we have on the channel this week coming up. And then obviously when it's The Walking Dead's off season, we have a different schedule like I said, so check out our schedule at the start and end of every video to see what our schedule is like then. One final comment I will read, or yeah, 3 more comments I'm gonna read, and then I'll end it here. Noah Jig 75, I wonder if Lydia told Negan about everything that Alpha did to her. I don't think so. I don't think he did, or she did. Mario 3, the only thing I'm glad that Rick isn't here so he can get his comic death in Commonwealth, but he might be even worse, in a worse place now. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Rick. It all depends what they do in the Rick movies, so we're gonna have to wait and see on that. Anna Twank, his character was kind of fun in the end. I like the fact that he pissed off Carl, lol. Yeah, I think, like I said, it only worked in the comics because he was a spoiled brat. It wouldn't work any other way. So I understand why they did it in the comics the way they did it. Alright, thanks everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream chat. I'll see you guys next Friday during the next stream, but stay tuned for the other upcoming videos. See you guys later.